Okay, I think we're good to start. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the presentation of the beautiful and truly special First 36 boat. Last time we had some difficulties with the internet, so we sincerely hope that we'll have a bit more luck today. My name is Katarina. I'm the director of Aeronautic Charter Company. The main idea of this presentation is to familiarize the market with this boat model, as it truly stands out both in terms of its construction and performance. Aeronautic offers 2 of these boats for the next season, and by the season 2025, we will have a fleet of 12. The presentation will be held by Tit. He is the marketing director of the manufacturer and also a proud owner of the first 36 in our fleet. I won't take up any more of his time, so Tit, please proceed. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you for introduction, Katerina. I hope this time it will all run smoothly. So just first, a brief introduction about me, because as Katerina pointed out, I'm here in kind of 2 roles. My majority, like quite big part of my job is presenting our products to dealers, clients, doing sea trials and so. That's why here I'm kind of a head of marketing and customer experience at Seascape Company, where we build these boats under the brand of BENETEAU. But that's not really important here. And as Katerina said, I'm also owner of the first 42. So first 36, number 42, which is available from beginning of next season on. So just want to give you a clear understanding about the 2 roles I have here. Before we go more into the details, I would like to share with you. Pretty short introduction video, which I believe really nicely shows what this boat is about. So let's take a minute and a half and take a look.
It's not just about design by a passionate team of world-leading experts. It's not just about race-grade construction in a family-grade boat. It's not just about incredibly spacious and smart interior. It's not just about adaptable deck ergonomics for cruisers or racers. And it's not even about enjoying sailing at 15 knots under a jib and main alone. What the First 36 is really about is to inspire, encourage, invite, and enable you to do more sailing.
Okay, thank you. So here we are moving on to the presentation. This time I'm not on the boat as we tried it last time. So I will try to do better job with the presentation without having a background boat in my background, right? So here is a quick agenda. Which are the topics we would like to touch today? So person introduction and intro video we already did. I will briefly touch the design theme and the awards that the boat got. We will go into the interior and exterior details, boat's equipment, and finally, who are the typical clients? So who are the clients that actually buy the boat on the market? Because the same group is also potential clients for renting it, right? And then just very briefly, what is the 24 and 25 season plans. So the design team, I call it a dream team because it's pretty extensive, right? Usually the design teams of boats are smaller. So here we had a pretty wide and numerous team, but with a clear reason, and I will explain you. I think that one of the main things is that all of these people I will be mentioning here are enthusiastic sailors, which is then very clear also on the final, clearly visible at the final product, right? So we have Samuel Manoart. Who is a French nautical architect. At the moment, he is the most asked nautical architect for the offshore racing, right? So this kind of beasts, this is what he's doing for here for majority of his time, right? So this is a Mocha 60. This is boat for solo sailing around the world, right? Which is not even sailing anymore, but it's flying, right? Then we have Lorenzo Argento, and he is from Italy. And he's kind of, let's say, something that you will probably know from his past work are Wally yachts, right? So practically top-end premium or luxurious sailing yachts, more custom built, right? And then I'm very, very, very proud to say that after the first sea trials, Lorenzo Argento decided to buy one First 36, and he got number 7. He's very, very happy about the boat after the first season. So the core team, Lorenzo, like I can also say myself, we are all buying these boats for ourselves, because that really shows that we believe in this project, right? And then we have another crucial team member. It's Pure Structure Engineering. Their project, so they are specialized in calculating how the boat needs to be designed, how much structure you need so that it is going to sail, and they're doing that on the top end level, right? This is America's Cup in Los Angeles, for example, where they calculate these boats so that they didn't fall apart, right? Maybe just touching what of these. Okay, I think that's okay. Now we are moving on to the awards, right? When the boat was launched in the first year, so during 2023, all the tests were done in 2022. It was pretty much named for the boat of the year on all relevant and big boat of the years contests we got, right? We will go in details, but before we go on which awards these are, I would like to summarize them in why, right? Why? And this is pretty much the main point, which is also important for you selling and booking this boat, right? If I summarize the verdict of all the world press, it's an unseen combination of performance on one hand side, comfort, and ease of use, right? This is what they all point out, and then everybody has its own reasoning, right? The one we are most proud on is the European Yacht of the Year for 2023. So this year, the boat won in the category of performance cruisers, and we had a really tough competition, right? We have Elan, Grand Soleil, Italia Yachts. So some of the really biggest names. It's not that it was an easy year and we won it, but it was in a really tough year. And what's very, very interesting is that all the journalists choose, all but one choose First 36 as a winner. So it was practically unanimous one. Then it's a Sailing World. It's one of the biggest sailing magazines. This is from US. They call it a total package. And just point out this first, nothing come close to BENETEAU First 36 in that year, and it was also pretty tough competition. We are having a Cruising World. This is one we are really proud of, because it was quite clear that the boat will perform well, right? But what was our main challenge was to convince the whole world that this is also a cruiser. So receiving the Cruising World special mention, it's really something we are very happy about. It's also another magazine in US, so top 10 best boats, and this one's kind of all-round winner in our books. So going back to the boat we are talking about, why I'm mentioning all these awards, because it's very easy to claim something by yourself and say, yeah, this is how this boat is, and that's what I believe, and so on. Yes, okay, this is your personal view or brand's point of view. What's really, really good here is that this is how outside world and pretty much the journalists of the world press are seeing this boat. Then it's much easier if that's what the others are saying about this boat, not us as a producer, right? So I will once again point out this duality because it will be with us for the rest of the presentation. So on one hand side, we have a boat. Which is a planing boat. I think this is something I need to point out, that it's probably the main difference that the clients on the market are not used to. So that the boat, it's a planing boat. What that means, so it can exceed this theoretical hull speed. That's very technical and physics behind, but in practice, the boat can fly, right? The maximum speed this boat did so far is 21 knots on fastnet race, which is something that the recreational sailors pretty much never achieved. Most of us never sailed that fast, right? And on the other hand side, so that's on the performance side, right? It's a really fast and fun boat to sail. And what is also a crucial mention here is this ease of use, because that's maybe a more important point you need to keep in mind when recreational sailor, charter guest hear speed, they are usually afraid of losing the control. And that's how it is on the displacement boat. Here it's a completely different story, right? If the boat is a planing boat, then you stay in control no matter the speed, right? I will not go more in details here. Happy to talk to some of you later on if you would like to. So that's on this performance side, right? It's a planing boat, really fun to sail and easy, and while keeping at full control. And one of the main challenges, and what is the real kind of revolution that this boat is bringing on the market, is having this kind of a planing boat, which is built exactly the same ways as modern racing boats are built. We are using the same technology, but enabling and offering the same level of comfort under deck as people are used to from conventional cruisers on the market. From our part of the portfolio, these are Oceanics boats, for example, right? So let's take a little bit of a deep dive into the interior. Basically, this interior is enormous, right? We measured it, and actually it's having a volume of previous edition of 40-foot cruisers. Like first 40 had the same volume as this boat has, right? So the volume of the boat, people are really, so the people when they will cruise with this boat will really benefit of this very, extensive volume, not just in the saloon, but also in the back cabins and in the front cabin, right? The first original reason why this boat is so voluminous is the performance, right? Because all modern performing racing boats are like over-pumped ball, right? They are they seem too big. Everything is out of proportions. So that's on the interior, right? It offers absolutely everything you expect from conventional cruiser. There is one thing you need to know. Maybe I go, yeah, well, there is one thing I need to mention, right? To get 3 cabins and this navigation table set up and this huge one single room saloon, we needed to, it's not a bug, it's a feature. We decided to squeeze in the toilet into this corner, right? Because it was pretty clear from the investigation, the research we did on the start, that this type of clients are happy to sacrifice a toilet where you spend hopefully less than 1% of your time. If you do more, you have a problem. And get a navigation table in the saloon, right? Because that's where the navigation table is. You would usually have a toilet, right? So the toilet is compacted as much as possible, but still completely functional. If we go to the exterior, right, we have the exterior was a pretty tricky part to design, because we need to offer these dual purposes, right? If the racers don't care about the interior, they definitely do care about the exterior, where also cruisers wants to have all the comfort, right? So that was a tough one, but we managed to do it with these removable boxes, which you can see on the bottom picture, that you extend the bench and get a comfortable laying position, and what it's also a huge benefit in cruising, this cockpit is huge. It's enormous, right? The boat is very wide all the way to the stern, and it's really big. I've already mentioned this planing capability, right? Where I think it's really, really important to mention one thing. We don't want to scare people with these top speeds, right? I said it to you so that you know it if you'll have someone who is more in this performance segment, to tell him, look, you will be able to cruise on jib and main in good conditions, 14, 15 knots, without any danger, without any hassle, without even a Janaker, right? Or if it's a racer, he can have the whole setup of sails on these boats. But cruisers will greatly benefit in light wind Adriatic summer conditions, right? This boat is doing, the boat speed is the same as the wind speed up to 5.5 knots of wind, which means that as soon as you have some breeze, we are talking about 5, 6, 7 knots, this is a boat that's gonna sail without any extra forces, very easy, light wind. So I think that's the crucial sales point for cruisers as well as racers for Croatia, where the boat is gonna be, especially for the main season. You have 2 to 3 months of really light breeze. And because the boat is light, I don't think I mentioned that, but the boat weighs only 4,800 kilos. Because the boat is light, it also reacts well and it's fine to sail in light breeze where everybody else is motoring, right? Of course, on the other hand, you can go and run like hell and put the Janaker on if the crew is capable, right? Here I would like to touch the equipment because this boat is over-equipped. I mean, this boat's gonna be kind of over-equipped. If you ask Katerina, we had that discussion. Yeah, what are you gonna do with all that stuff? Well, we need all this equipment because on the cruising side, I didn't want to go in details here, right? I just copied it from the page. But what I want to say here is you have everything that any conventional cruiser has, right? You have hot water, inverter, Webasto, so heating, then the own toilet, absolutely. So audio system. So pretty much absolutely everything that people are used to from the conventional cruisers, right? That's important. So that's fixed. What I wanted to show you with this sail selection chart here on the left is that this boat, at least first 2 for the next year that I privately own, so mine and the other one, are gonna have optional amount of 6 sails, right? So we are having 3 Janakers, or 2 Janakers, code 0, big jib, small jib, and the mainsail, right? And why is this important? Because if someone wants to go for a true sailing experience, right, then we need to offer him all the equipment. It's in a way a little bit like putting a regular tires on the sport car. It doesn't work, right? If you want to have a full experience of a sport car, you need proper tires and other stuff, right? And gasoline and I don't know what else. So it's about the same here, right? We decided to go full in to offer the complete boat with everything that the racers are used to. And I think that's very, very important to mention here. Cruisers will also have a chance to choose the sail setup in the base when the forecast for the coming week is clear. And if it's light wind, you go for light wind sails. If it's heavy wind forecast, you go for smaller jib and smaller Janakers if you're that experienced, right? So they really have a chance to get full sailing, full cruising and sailing experience based on the condition that awaits them week ahead, right? I think that's something very important to mention here. Now we are getting to the end. Because who I think your clients are. It's a bit bold statement, but almost all of the market. Because why? We I have a chance to follow. I mean to track all the owners of the first 40 boats that are delivered so far, and that's the split between cruisers, racers who wants to do both, and racers. This was very good to see, because that means that the boat was accepted by the audience that it was built for. And that also clearly tell us where the clients for booking, chartering this boat are lying, right? It's in the cruisers who wants to try something new, something a little bit more premium, something a little bit more fun, learn something new. And at the other end, it's for sure cruiser racers. This is the category that the boat is in, right? So performance cruisers, racers, there are many names, but they all say the same. So it's the balance and dual use. And of course, if there is a racer who would like to go and race with these boats, he can easily do it, right? So yeah, if I just finish here regarding the clients, I'm not saying that all of the clients are the market, because for sure typical cruiser guests who are looking for the best price performance per cabin or berth won't come on this boat, right? But someone who wants to try something new or is a true sailor lover will definitely this is definitely a boat for them, right? And this split is also clearly visible between the owners. And I'm getting to the end, so we have some time for your questions, and I'm looking forward to that. In season 2024, there are two first 36 available, both from Pirovat's base. It's 42, which is mine, but it's also then Pool Panther from the region owner, mine is from the beginning of the season. Pool Partner is from, I think, June. If you want to do some kind of team buildings or smaller groups, we already have two boats for you. While in 2025, we have one design fleet for 12 to 14 boats. There are also some private owners interested to join. But this is something that Katarina and the investor of the fleet are working on. What I would like to say about the fleet that is coming in 2025, we are already equipping these boats, even if they're private and not from the fleet of 10 boats that is coming in 2025, we're gonna equip this boat the same. So this boat's gonna be having the same anti-fouling, same standard sails from the same sail maker of the same shape and size. They will be all taken out at about the same time in the year, so that the anti-fouling is the same dirty. We have the same options, the minimum amount of options, which are at the end of the day pretty much all of them. Why all that? Because we really want to make sure these boats are one design. Why? Because I'm absolutely certain that this fleet can host highest level of worldwide racing events than in 2025. Because what is the feedback from the market is definitely that true sailors, racers is gonna enjoy this boat, as well as complete beginners who will discover something new and really appreciate the responsiveness of the boat, which they are not used to from the conventional boats. Yeah, so that's end of my presentation. I'm gonna go back into the presentation. So for the questions, please drop them in the chat, or there's Q&A. We will follow both, and I'm happy to answer your questions, right? If some points were not clear or so, I wanted to keep it compact so we're not too long with my talking, and then we have time for your questions.
Thanks, Tit. So guys, as Tit already explained, you are free to ask any questions.
This presentation. Yes, I can make it available, no problem, easy. Maybe I will delete my comments because they are from some old presentation, but yes. Yeah, okay, we will arrange that with the Aeronautic team, so you get this presentation after the meeting. That's an easy one.
Immediately after the meeting, we will send you the email with few of the links that Tit has chosen that present the boat in the best way. And then during the next week, we will send you the video of this presentation as well as this PDF form that Tit used.
Exactly. So in the videos I've chosen, you will see you get afterwards. I mean, it's from the outside magazines, and it's kind of well, by my opinion, the best presentations of the boat, and they go much more deeper into the features of the boat and equipment and stuff. But this is not what was the purpose of today's presentation, right? So who is the dealer for Croatia? It's Ultra. It's Ultra Sailing from Split. So they can while the fleet of the 10 boats, and this is something I wanted to point out as well. So the fleet of the 10 boats is managed by the Slovenian investor or coordinator of few investors, and there are still few slots available, right? So few of the boats for 2025 are still available. So in this case, please reach out to Katarina. She will be your he will share your contact with Mr. Gadashevich if you're interested, and then okay. and then you will go more in details. But I really think that on the Croatian market, Adriatic market, this fleet is really needed. It's not just renewing the fleets that were there in the past, but it's actually bringing something completely new, right? As the boat does on the market, and this sailing experience, this is something that we'll be able to offer to the racers as well. Some more questions. Okay. More about the design, research, and innovation phase. Okay. Okay. Well, you have easily, and you have time. So design research started with I mentioned in the first slide there is a 𝘏𝘏, which is Slovenian Industrial and Design Studio, also working in the automotive industry and caravanning and and we worked with them for 10 years. With them we did the original research, and the research was done between the old first owners, BENETEAU dealers, journalists, active professional sailors, as well as amateurs. So very wide spectrum of users. And the question was quite simple to simplify it. What do you expect from a new first, right? And that was pretty clear. Number one answer was we expect a planing boat. And then, of course, the wish list continued, and people said, pretty much we want the planing boat, but everything else, and even more comfort and more volume and all the options and all what we are used to from the old generation of first, right? And then another point that was interesting was that people prefer to have a lounge, not a dining room. For example, for that reason, there is a central island on the table, which is taking some space, but enables you to have a little table when you're not dining. Because at the end of the day, it's probably very rarely that people actually eat dinner inside, right? They're mostly doing that outside. And then the third point was people wanted to have a navigation table back. And navigation table means that what do we do with the toilet then? And then it was pretty clear output as well that that people are willing to sacrifice, to compromise on the toilet to have this one big open space saloon and the navigation table, right? And what do you think it was a crucial? So that was the research. And based on that, we then started the development with this team. What was crucial to create a war-winning product? Well, I think one of the crucial things was that we were weight sensitive on each and every point from the beginning, right? You don't build a boat which is 2.5 to 3 tons lighter to the other boats of this size at the moment being sold as a new products. So it's 4,800 kilos compared to at least 7 to 8 tons of the other boats, right? You need to be really radical on each and every point. And you don't do that just simply by vacuum infusing the boat, because everybody's vacuum infused the boat. But you actually need to take this technology of the racing grade, racing production with foam in the middle and very, very exactly and carefully calculated structure of the boat, because the boat itself, it's having less than 1 millimeter of fibers on the outside of the boat, and then reinforcements are added wherever they need to be, right? That's how you weight a lot. And the second key point why this boat is so much lighter, and that's why it's probably successful, is that all the interior is not added on into the boat afterwards, but the whole boat is conceived and calculated that each part of the exterior is also a structure, right? So when you glue all this together, it's much lighter but much stronger as well. And then for sure the third point is the level of comfort, the interior and styling, which is Lorenzo's part, right? If the first part was 𝘍𝘦𝘦𝘵 and pure with this technical stuff, how the boat is shaped, designed, and so the third part is then Lorenzo Argento and Sito, who were both together doing on the interior. I hope I wasn't too long with this answer. Any other questions? Okay.
Okay, so if we don't have price.
Yeah, well, okay, a price, fair question. Because of all I've just explained, right? I would put it that way. Something that usually we try to do is to correlate it to the car industry, right? Because that's something we all understand, and it's something we meet every day. The price of the charter fees, it's not that I will get rich because I put this boat into the charter, right? The price of the boat directly correlates with the purchase price of the boat. I think that's crucial to understand. Although this boat is not expensive, I mean, it's a huge amount of money, but it's not expensive because expensive is always correlated to something else, right? And I did a price benchmark of the purchase price of the boats, like other boats, 𝐔𝐬𝐳𝐷 Soleil, Italia Yachts, Elan, and so of the same size. And the boat is completely competitive price-wise to buy it, right? But the whole market of this size of the boats went up for about 20 to 30% from the beginning of COVID on, right? Depends on from model to model. So nowadays, this size of the boat just simply cost more, while you still have smaller boats from the old, which were bought like 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? They were bought by completely different conditions. But I think that's not the main point. The main point is that if you want to rent a car, a bit more performing sport boat, it will also cost you more than regular whichever car that is pretty much described as we will have 5 doors and it will have a transmission and it will take you from A to B, right? So this is a boat for people who knows what they want, right? Who really wants to have modern sailing experience, right? I didn't went in that direction with the presentation, but you remember in the beginning of the story, I mentioned 𝘍𝘦𝘦𝘵 with this IMOCA 60 Charal, which is pretty much flying, right? So this discrepancy between what's available for recreational sailors and what we watch on YouTube or TV, it's enormous, right? Before it was displacement boat, okay, and these pro guys are planing. Now the majority of the sailors are still on a displacement boat, while the guys who are doing it professionally, the racers, they're now flying, right? So this boat is an intermediate step, something that every recreational can handle. And because of this technology, how the boat is built and the way how it's conceived, it's simply more expensive way to build boat. and that's then that's transferred down all the way to the price of the boat. So if it's for sailor, sailors, it's interesting now when the boat is out for first 3 weeks, and it's like you have half of the people that are just don't even ask about the price because they exactly know what they want and what they will get. And of course, then you have some that are hooked, but then it's, oh, what about the price? I said to everybody what I just said to you. It is a special product. It's not that the price directly correlates with the purchase price and the technology that is used in this boat. And last but not least, that's also important, how well is this boat equipped, right? When I was equipping this boat, I pretty much equip it for myself, and then we put it into charter. It's not best investment minimum, right? But it's all in. I think I'm absolutely certain, and it's clear from the first feedbacks that there is market for that. But it's not a boat which is competing. You know, if you'll have a guy who's coming into your office, or okay, it's not coming into your office, but it's like, okay, I want cheapest cabin per cheapest price per cheapest fee per person for Croatia for the top season. That's not what they, right? It's not for them, right? But it's for if you have someone who is like, okay, I want to try sailing this year, I want a sailing boat, then it's pretty much without the competition. The basic price, so the basic price, it starts with 3,150 for the out of season, and then it's 5,400 for these 4 weeks in the highest season. But we offer early bird discount now.
Yeah, I think Nenad was actually asking about the price of the boat, if I'm mistaken. Okay. No problem, but we can send the concrete offer for this fleet of First that is coming to us by email. So you just send us an inquiry and we will send you the complete data. Yeah.
But the basic price, if I just answer you, let's say it's 240,000 euros, which is completely equipped, interior, electricity, mast, all that. But of course, you need to add the sales and electronics like always. So then the option comes. Okay, if there is some more questions, I think Katarina and Jana, feel free to share also my email with the presenters. So if there will be some questions, I'm happy to help and answer, and or we do it through Katarina, whichever way. And thank you for your time. Thank you for coming back in the same number as last time. That's really good to see that we are on about the same amount. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing you sometime during the season.
Thank you, Tit, very much. I hope we have at least warmed you up a little bit for this truly special boat, and we are very excited for the summer and all the people who will try it out to see a feedback. Thank you again for participating. We will definitely stay in touch. Enjoy your weekend, and don't forget, summer is nearly here. Bye, guys.